All right, it is time to update my Shop My Stash. I've religiously been using these products for well over a month, I believe. It might be even almost 2 months at this point. I can't remember when I actually added all this stuff in. But it's time to take it all out. It's time to get some like new stuff added in. Before I dive in and I specifically pick out the products with you that I want to use for this upcoming Shop My Stash, let's kind of dive in and talk about the stuff that I chose from the last Shop My Stash. And then you can kind of see my thoughts on some products, like little mini reviews of things that I have been using continuously for the past few weeks. I want to start with all of the eyeshadow palettes. The only palette missing out of these is my Riviera palette. I have the same outfit on as my Project Pan update, so go check that out if you want to see the update on that Riviera palette. It's not added in here because it's going to be in my shelf for all of 2023, or at least until I pan the products that I want to pan. So other than that palette, we have, I'm sure if you've seen any of my Shop My Stash videos, you've seen this little white palette from Ebates Cosmetics. This is where I keep my little numbers generated palette from all of my single shadows. This is what that palette looks like. Surprisingly, again, it feels like every time I do one of these palettes, they're very color coordinated somehow, but I have gotten quite a lot of use out of a lot of these shades. I love greens, so I always use the greens, and then the reds, that maroon up there in that top right corner, this like light baby ballet pink, I use it all the time. This dusty rose type of color, the best cool toned, pink toned transition gray type of color, really nice. So yes, I have used this a lot. I don't know if I have any specific photos that I took with any of the colors in this palette. If I do, I'll try to leave them on the screen around me. But to be honest, I've been doing horrible with taking photos after I do makeup looks. So if it's not in a video, I'm so sorry. You're probably not gonna see it. I'm sorry, okay. I'm horrible at it recently. I don't know. I just forget. I just forget. And then by the time I want to do it, the lighting sucks. So yeah. I'm excited to put this back because I have used it a lot, and I'm so excited to do another numbers generated palette. It's like my favorite part from the Shop My Stash is to do one of these palettes. So all right, I've also been using the Charlotte Tilbury Instant Eye Smoky Eyes Are Forever palette. I used this a few times, but not as often as I've wanted to, and the reason why was because I solely was working on the Riviera palette, and I think that's half of the problem is I've been so focused on trying to finish that one that I've really been neglectful of some of these palettes. So we'll see. I might want to keep this in this rotation just because I haven't gotten good use out of it. Next up is my Bobbi Brown palette. This is the Luxe Metal Rose eyeshadow palette. I actually have a little video reels on Instagram of me using this palette again, and I love it. I love the shimmers in here. They're like a putty texture, but they're really thin but impactful. It's not a palette you can purchase anymore, but I still love it. It's almost like a more shade selected down version of the ABH Modern Renaissance palette. I like this. You can see the dents that I have in some of these shades, so obviously I like it. It's a really beautiful palette. I used it. I like it a lot. I don't know what else to tell you about it. This is a palette I didn't use at all. It is my Pat McGrath Labs Mothership palette. The Mothership number 9 Utopian Dream palette. Like, looking at this, I could have added some of these colors to the look I have on today, and I'm like disappointed now that I didn't. Hold on, let me pause a moment. I'm gonna add a little bit. just need a little bit, just a little bit to give it a little bam bam, wham bam, thank you ma'am. Okay, can you even see what I'm doing? I'm so sorry. Okay. Okay. I think I added enough. I think that's enough sparkle. Okay. I just added, which one did I add? This one right here. It has a really like almost clear base to it, but it adds like the prettiest sparkles on the lid. Oh, so pretty. Yeah, so I just added it. I honestly forget it how pretty this Mothership palette is. I haven't used it like at all. This is the first time I used it since I added it, so I'm probably gonna keep this in another rotation just to play with it a little more. I forget at these shimmers at how clear of a base they have, because they're really impactful on an eye look, and I need to remember to use it. So I'm gonna keep it, I think, but we'll get to it later. Two sprays that I had during this round. These are the two sprays. I've been doing this Grace and Stella Rose Spray religiously before putting on makeup, and I've been liking it. It's just a huge bottle, and I'm not the biggest fan of like a rose scent. Like I don't even have roses in my garden. I don't like that smell. And then the one I've been setting my makeup with is the Makeup Revolution Hyaluronic Fix Spray. It's fine. It works fine. I don't know. I'm not like sweating my face off, so I don't like, yeah, it's fine. I don't know. Got this whole bucket of a bunch of stuff. So it's so funny looking at all this stuff because it's all the stuff that I've like literally been using for forever. And this is one of the primers that I've been using. It's the Hourglass Vanish Airbrush Primer. Look how much is gone. I hope you can see through the jar. Like I've used a lot of this. And the other primer that I had in this rotation was from Giorgio Armani. I love this stuff. It is so good. I actually have another container of this, so when this runs out, I have my backup. It's the Luminous Silk Hydrating Primer. It is wonderful. It's so good. There's something about the texture and like consistency of this that's just, oh, it's just so nice. I don't know how to explain it any better than that, and there's really no lingering scent that I can tell. I love it. It has this nice slip and dry down, and it still kind of feels a little bit dimethicone-y, but not gross, not in a gross way, in like a hydrating way, if that makes sense. So I recommend both of these. If you want something that's more pore filling, go with the Vanish Airbrush Primer. If you want something a little bit more hydrating and like smoothing on the skin, I go with the one from Giorgio Armani, the Luminous Silk. Literally feels like silk on your skin. It's so beautiful. Okay, 2 sunscreens. They're technically both expired now. Actually, this one technically expires today. Dang. I don't have much left of this, so I am going to keep continuing to use this. I really like this sunscreen. It's the Aloe Soothing Sun Cream from Cosrx. It's a really good option. It just feels like a nice cream. It's very comfortable. It's not like sticky or tacky feeling, which I enjoy. I hate like sticky, tacky sunscreens. I find that so gross, especially when you're adding more layers of makeup on top of it. It's just another like gross layer you have to add. I hate it. This is from the brand Maylove. It's the Sun Protector Sheer Mineral Sunscreen. It's not as sheer as I would like, but it's better than what I remember it when I first tried it. This is expired now, and I think it's starting to change consistency at this point. So I am going to just get rid of this. It's old. It's expired. Like I'm not gonna put this on my face anymore because it is expired. It's not even giving me the protection that I need at this point. So I'm just gonna skip it. But I do think there's many other mineral sunscreens that are way better than this one. I'm sorry to say that. This wasn't one of my favorites. Okay. 2 concealers. I have used these to death because they're the only 2 that I've been reaching for, and I've been pairing them together, and I love their combination together. This is the Tint Idol Ultra Wear All Over Concealer from Lancome. This is what I put on the outside edge of my eyes, and then on the inside is this one. It's the Bright Light Sheer Concealer from Glowish by Huda Beauty. They're both beautiful. I love them both. If you can find a color in your concealer shade, I'd recommend both of these. This one's very sheer, but it's still gonna like give you the look that you're wanting to achieve. This one is definitely more of a medium to full coverage, but it isn't cakey or thick. So wonderful. This is another little guy that I have used quite a bit, but not as much as the other foundation, which is my foundation I've had in my project pan. This is the Triple Protection Skin Tint from First Aid Beauty. I don't even think they make this anymore, which is unfortunate because it is a really, really nice skin tint formula. It's very sheer, but still adds enough coverage that it's kind of melting into your skin and making your skin look more like one tone instead of being kind of blotchy like skin can tend to look. Just does a really good job at evening out the skin without adding a ton of coverage, and I really enjoy it. I am going to keep it around still, even though it is expired. I really love this stuff. I wish they'd still make it because I'm pretty sure they don't anymore. Okay, I also added in my Becca Under Eye Brightening Corrector. I've used this a lot, and I really have liked using it in conjunction with the 2 concealers that I had in my collection, and I made quite a dent in this too. I like using it with a brush. I like using it with my fingers. It's a great color match for me all around. I enjoy it. And then this Becca All Over Face Powder. It's the Light Shifter Finishing Veil. I haven't used this, not even once. And I haven't really used this because I have my Ciate London Loose Finishing Powder that's in my project pan, and I just love that one so much. It's really hard for me to want to reach for anything else other than that loose powder. So I haven't used this, which is kind of disappointing. But no, I have not used this, not even once. And this little section is getting, I can't wait to get rid of this section and just redo this whole section. Okay, this is like my highlight blush bronzer section, and I have thoughts. Okay, first thought, this is the Milani Supercharged Cheek and Lip Multi-Stick. I would never use this on my lips. No, this is a bronzer, but this is such a sheer bronzer. It is so sheer. But when I pair this with my skin tints, there's something about the way this looks on the skin with a skin tint that just looks like no makeup. And at first I freaking hated this because it literally disappeared on my skin. And yes, it does literally disappear, but it disappears in the best way possible. That sounds so dumb. It's really, like, if you like things that are there but don't look like they're there, you're gonna like this. It's very, very sheer. You like sheer products. You don't want to look like you're wearing a ton of makeup. This is your girl. I have been liking it for that reason. I'm shocked because I hated it when I first started using it, but I do love it now. I also added in my Kosas Baked Bronzer, the Sun Show Bronzer, I think is what it's called. I have used it. I do have it on my face today. It is too deep for me. It's way too deep for me. I should have gone with the shade Fair or Light. This is the number 2 shade medium. It's too deep, but also it's really difficult to pick up on a brush and have that brush transfer the product onto your skin. It just doesn't want to work that way. And I don't know if it's because it's a baked product or if it's just this baked product, but I don't like this as much as I used to. I just don't like it. There's others in my collection that I love. I also just prefer creams and liquids way more than powders. So I don't know, I really hate it. I really started hating this one, even though I used to love this Kosas bronzer, like through and through. Really odd. Okay, the third bronzer that I picked out because I wanted something that wasn't as sheer as that Milani one, because I thought I was gonna hate it, to be honest, and I wanted a cream that wasn't a powder like the Kosas one, so I picked out my Soul Body Face and Body Bronzing Balm in the shade Fair. I love this stuff, you guys. Like, I've put dent in it. I don't know how I have not hit pan on this yet. I am waiting for a little hole down in that divot. Like, I am so close in hitting pan in that. Look at that. Oh, so pretty to see. I love the smell. I love the way this performs. I love the way it looks on the skin. Like, 10 out of 10. I recommend this one. It's so good, and there's so much product in here. There is a ton of product, so this is a goodie. Let's go to highlighters because I don't have that many to choose from. I have 3 highlighters. We'll talk about my powder one. This is the Nabla Skin Glazing Glass Skin Finish Glow Powder. I would love to see them do the glass skin or glass skin glazing also in like a cream version, because while the powder version is beautiful and it is very blinding on the skin, I just like my creams. I just want a cream version too. It's very pretty. It's slightly too deep for me, but I can make it work with fairly like good ease, so it works. It's just slightly too dark for me right now, but I mean, to be expected, because like I said, I don't go in the sun anymore. I am pale. It might not look like it on camera, but I promise you I am very fair. Very fair. Okay, so I've also been using this No Chill Luster stick highlighter from the brand Half Cake Makeup. Love this. This color is the shade Pop Star. It's just a super cute like pink color, and I've been using it as a blush topper. Where did this hair come from? Like I said, I've been using it as a blush topper, and it's stunning. I love this color. I wish they'd almost come out with a little bit more. Last one that I've been using is from Merit. It's the shade Kava. It's the highlighting balm. This one is the lightest color I have in my collection from the line from Merit, and it is so pretty. Again, this is one of those products that I just like using on like lighter face-based days for whatever reason. Like, this just stands out so well when you have like a skin tint on. Oh god, it's so pretty. Oh my god. If you want something that's impactful but like a cream form, this is probably one of my favorite cream highlighting formulas. It's just really expensive. I'm sorry. And then I chose 4 blushes. I did not choose any powder blushes. I was trying to religiously focus on the powder blush that I have in my project pan, so I didn't want to affect that progress by choosing another powder to put in here. So let me go over all of the blushes that I chose for this round. So the first one is the NSYNC liquid blush. This one is in the shade Brown Sugar. Really nice color. It's like the perfect summer to fall type of tone, which I'm seeing now. I kind of wish I would have it now, you know, like it just looks good. And I also have another Half Cake Makeup product. This is the Candy Paint line, and it's the shade Millions of Peaches. This is a very vibrant color. It's very opaque. I think I hit pan in it, or I almost did, but let me swatch out the color. These are like a little, when I say a little bit goes a long way, like a little bit goes a long way. You just need to lightly tap into this product to get the opacity that you want. They're like full opacity right away, but they're so beautiful and they're super affordable, and it's just very comfortable on the skin. It's a very opaque, bright color, so it tends to lasts a lot longer and you don't need nearly as much, but it is such a pretty shade. I've really been enjoying it. I also chose this cream blush from Wander Beauty. It's a Double Date Lip and Cheek in the shade Rendezvous. So this is the color. This has a similar cream consistency to the one from Half Cake, but not as creamy, I guess. It's a little bit more stiff, but that's the color Rendezvous. It's getting more like purple in tone than like pinky peach. Yeah, again, it's really pretty. I like it a lot. I did a fun cream cheek look, an ombre cheek look with those two products, and then this next product, I have it in my reel, so go check it out. It's really fun. Yeah, and then the third product I used with that reel is this one. It's from the brand About Face. It's their Cheek Freak Blush Balm. I have the shade Raunchy. I adore this packaging. I think it's so fun, and honestly, I'm happy there's no mirror in it. I think the mirrors are a waste of my time, in my personal opinion. This is the color, nice, really pretty orangey shade. And let me swatch it real quick. I know people haven't liked this formula, and I don't know why, because I'm not having any problem with it. And when I did that look with the three cream blushes, the ombre blush look, this worked just fine. I don't really know why people were having such a problem with it. I don't know if it's user error or you're just not used to using creams, but I had no problem with it. I actually really like this, so yeah. And it's a really cute color. Like, it's very like natural looking, not super opaque. I don't know, maybe that's why people hated it, because it wasn't opaque. I don't know, if you want something opaque, go with the Half Cake ones. They're way more affordable too. So two kind of like eyeshadow singles. This is a trio and this is a single. This is from Kaja. It's the Mauve Bouquet Bento Box. Look how blinding that is. I did use this a few times. The looks were fine. They were just a little bit more basic than like what I have on today, obviously. But yeah, super pretty, nice purpley mauve shade. And then this is a shade I used a couple times. It's the color Obvi in the Ultra Glitter formula from ColourPop in their Super Shock Shadow formula. I love this formula. The shade is so cute. It already feels kind of dry in the pan. I wonder if I didn't put it on right, but that's the color. Super lovely. I love greens, so I can't say it's that obvious that I like it. It's super pretty. I like it a lot. Okay, we had lip liner. I've just been keeping this in here. It's my Dolce K lip liner from Kylie Cosmetics. So close to being done. So I just wanted to show you the progress I had on it, because I'm almost done. We're almost there. I had quite a few lip products, so these are some of them. Honestly, I didn't really use any of these. I used this. This is the product I use. It's the Bare Minerals lip gloss in the shade Groovy, and I used the liquid lip, Gen Nude liquid lip. I think it was the shade Boss that I had. It's in my diaper bag because I actually have been bringing that with me, and that's like the everyday shade that I've been wearing, and I've been really enjoying it. Not even once did I use my Pat McGrath 1995 lipstick shade. Really disappointed in myself. Not once did I use the shade Backstage Bambi from KBD Beauty. Not once did I use the shade Kiki from Kiki W and Kylie Cosmetics. And not once did I use the Soft Touch Lime Crime liquid or lipstick formula in the shade Flamingo Pink. I can get this off. I don't know why. I think it's just because I've been trying to hit pan in my Wet Cherry lip gloss, so I really haven't touched any of these, and that's like the kind of frustrating thing when you're trying to pan stuff but you have things in a Shop My Stash. You just really get to the point where you're like, not using that. But I do want to show you two things that I actually did use a lot of. Oh, this was the other product that I had that I was supposed to use from Makeup Revolution, the Lure Red shade in their Matte Balm Liquid Lip. I didn't use this, not even once. I know, I'm really disappointed in myself because I used everything else at time except for these, like, fuck. I wanted to show you two lip products that for whatever reason I was using a lot, and I don't know why, because I didn't have these in the Shop My Stash. So I don't know why I was using them so much, probably because they were like front and center in my face on my carousel. But this Glow Easy Nourishing Vitamin C Lip Oil, I used a ton of this. Of course, I put it upside down so you can't see how far I've used it. You're starting to see it. I used like almost half of it. I'd say about a third to half has been used up. So yeah, I don't know why I use that a lot. I've been using it before putting my makeup on, and then I rub it off and go in with this color, which is from KVD Beauty. It's the Epic Kiss Nourishing Vegan Butter Lipstick. This one is in the shade Fine Thank You. Just a really pretty type of like red raspberry shade. I've liked it a lot, surprisingly. Like, I've used it a lot more than I normally do use reds. So yeah, I just wanted to share that weird tidbit with you guys because it was like an odd one for me. But yeah, that was everything from this Shop My Stash. So let's get in and choose some other products. I'm so excited. Continuing, it's a hot mess. I know it's a hot mess. I know it's messy. It's really messy. I know. Don't hate me, okay? Anyways, this is where I house all of my concealers, color correctors, primers, foundations, sprays, and then I also had sunscreens in here, but I just recently took them out because I don't have space. So since I took the sunscreens out, I wanted to show you the sunscreen that I'm adding into the Shop My Stash. I'm still keeping my Coaster X one because I've been using it daily. I think I can finish it up by the end of this month, so I'm gonna keep it in. But I'm also going to add this one. It's from Rose Inc. It's their Solar Power Luminous SPF 30 Serum. It's just a little deluxe size, so I wanna just use it up, get it out of my collection, and I think this is a great way to do so. Okay, now that that is out of the way, I need to choose a setting spray, and like I did have the Hyaluronic Fix spray. It wasn't too bad. I actually quite enjoyed it, but I think I want to go in a different direction this time, and I'm gonna go with this one. It's from Item Beauty. It's the One Hit Prime Set and Refresh Dewy Finish Face Mist. This is a dewy face mist. I'm understanding that. That's kind of why I want to use it, because most of mine are like actual setting mists, so I'm gonna use this one. Right, so we are like in fall mode at this point. So I'm trying to think what direction I want to go with my foundation and my primers. So I'm going to add this Dior primer. It's the Capture Total Dream Skin Care and Perfect Global Age Defying Skincare Creator. It's quite nice. It is quite of a scent, but it works really nice. I'm going to add this, but I want to add one other primer in as well. So let me pick out what I want. And I think what I want is going to be a dewy primer. So let me put all this stuff back. So I want to add this one from Makeup Revolution. It is the Pore Perfecting Primer. It is a lot more dewier than the one from e.l.f. Beauty. So yeah, I'm going to add that, and we'll see how those two work. Okay, next up is concealers. So I don't really know the direction I want to take with it. I need something light coverage. Okay, so I want to do the under eye brightener just so I can get some use out of this. I had quite a good bit of use out of my Becca Cosmetics under eye corrector, so I want to use this one. I feel like I want to try this one out as well as get like a light coverage one in here. Yeah, let's do these two. One's too deep. Okay, let's do these two concealers, the Conceal and Define from Makeup Revolution and then the Bare Minerals Brightening Concealer. This is supposed to be really light coverage, so I think these two could potentially work well together. So we'll find out. We'll see how it goes. Continue this mess of random organization or attempt of random organization. Okay, and it's as good as it's gonna get, I think. Let's just add this. I know this is so expired. What is the expiration date on this? 2021 was the expiration date on this. Oh god, that makes me nervous. Let's just use this just to use it, okay? So I want to use this, but I also want to use two others only because I'm so close to being finished with the foundation that I currently am using. So I'm going to add these three foundations as my choices. So we have the L'Oreal BB cream, my L'Oreal True Match foundation, and then the It Cosmetics CC cream. So let's see how these work. My lipsticks and glosses. So you're seeing this drawer now that I have decluttered this drawer, which is quite interesting to see. And it's funny because I'm looking now and I still see some things that I could be like, yeah, no, I'm gonna nix that. Like, I don't want it anymore, let's get it out. But I'm going to pick out maybe a few glosses because the gloss that I had in my project pan is almost done. So I want to pick out like something else. And I was thinking about one of these glosses from Kaja. I haven't used them in quite a while. And the Lime Crime gloss that I'm using is quite similar to this shade here. So I think I'm going to go a little bit lighter and use this Gloss Shot shade, which is the shade Milk Tea. I want to pick something else. I just don't really know what. Ooh, I know. Okay, let me find it. Okay. I'm going to do two glosses. I'm going to do my Kaja Gloss Shot and then this one from Kylie Cosmetics, which is the shade Noelle. Super duper old, but I love the shade. So let's pop these two in the mix. Okay, I want to start getting like some grungy fall tones going on. So I'm definitely adding this liquid lip from Sephora. It's like the perfect grungy fall tone color. But I also want to go with this really interesting shade from Lime Crime. It's the shade Squash, and I just think it's so fun and just so different that I think these two will be a really great combination for liquid lipsticks in the lineup. Too bad. But while I'm here kind of discussing it, I think I'm going to keep in the KKW one, the Backstage Bambi, and then my two stick lipsticks, the Soft Touch shade Flamingo Pink, and then my 1995 shade from Pat McGrath, only because I didn't use these at all, and I really want to give myself like a good shot of using them. So I'm going to keep these all in as well. Hopefully you don't care that I'm doing that, but yeah. Okay. This is the next drawer. It's the eyeshadow drawer, and I'm going to do this pick totally different. This is not normally what I do, but I have reasons behind it. I've picked out my random number generator palette and I want to show it to you guys. It does look pretty fall themed, but at the same time I have red and green mats in here, so it really reminds me of Christmas, which is kind of funny. But this is the number generator palette, and here's what I want to do and what I've kind of decided. I'm not picking anything from this drawer, and there's a reason behind it. I'm going to only use that random number generator palette, and then these two luxury palettes of mine. One's the Mothership number 9 Utopian Dreams palette from Pat McGrath, and then the Smoky Eyes Are Forever palette from Charlotte Tilbury. Reason why is I didn't use either one of these palettes. I maybe used the Charlotte Tilbury one once and the Pat McGrath one never. So I want to be able to use these two palettes. I spent a lot of money on these two palettes, so I want to get to be able to use them, you know? So I'm going to keep these in the Shop My Stash because I didn't get to use them yet because I have been so focused on my Project Pan palette, but I'm so close to finishing that one that I think I can actually spend some good time really focusing in on these three palettes. So that is where I'm going to stay. I was going to add one more, but I decided against it because the ones I was going to add were going to be very basic fall themed color, and I had a lot of those fall themed colors in this palette, but also they're in the Charlotte Tilbury palette. This is a very basic fall looking palette, so I think I can achieve everything I want from these three palettes. So that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna keep these two in rotation. I think this shows every product here. All right, one of my favorite drawers. This is my blush drawer, and then I have some powders on the side over here. This is what I'm thinking. I want to go a little ham, but in a toned back kind of way, if that makes sense. I really want to love up on these like orangey fall type of colors, really just dig in on them. So this one definitely, I think I need to show some love to my Take a Layer 3CE cream blush. What else? Show some love for my Fenty one maybe. This one I think would be good. And I feel like I kind of have to add a powder. Yeah. Let's do this one. If I can get to it. Okay. So many options. These are the blushes I'm going with. Yay. So, okay, just talk about each one of them. This is from 3CE. It's their Take a Layer blush. I have this one in the shade Cabbage Rose. It is just like a really muted, like, red, if that makes sense. It's a really good fall color. I see fall every time I see that shade. This is the On the Glow blush from Pixie. It's in the shade Juicy. It's so pretty. Look at that. It's just cute. It just, like, these shades remind me of fall, and I think I really want to have that be the focus. This is a cream blush from Fenty Beauty in the shade Fenty Glow. This is more of like an everyday type of color. So nice. This is the one powder blush I want to choose since I did hit pan, and spoiler alert, my Project Pan blush from Physicians Formula. I really want to get a good use out of this. It's like a nice muted pink tone. So pretty. How cute is that? And then lastly, because this is one that I don't normally wear because I hate the packaging, it's the Rose Milk color from Cosmetics in their like serum blushes. But again, this looks like a really nice fall sort of shade. So yeah, I think these are the colors I want to go with. Is there anything else? Let's see. Wild Berry. I think I am going to add this one because it's so dark and just so yummy looking. It's a very terrifying shade when you look at it, but when you swatch this, oh my gosh, look at that swatch. It's like the perfect deep fall blush color. It's just so different and unique. I love it. Adding that as well. Oh Lord. Again, I'm still working on my one loose powder, but I really do need to add something else in. And at this point, I think it's going to have to be like a pressed powder, and I'm going to add this one being my pressed powder. It's from Yensa. It's the Super Serum Silk Powder Foundation in the shade Fair 3. So I am going to add that as well. And that is everything from this drawer, so I'm going to wrap it up and show you the next drawer. While I don't think I'm going to be picking like a ton of things, in truth, I'm really sick and tired of powder bronzers. They are just not my thing, like at all. I'm so sick of them. But I do need to use something. I think I'm gonna go with this oldie but a goodie. It's from Kevyn Aucoin. It's the Neo bronzer in the shade Sunrise Light. It is a really good powder bronzer. I don't normally use powders again, so I'm going to try and use this and like get some good use out of it. Okay, so the next bronzer I want to get some use out of, I'm going to choose these two, and obviously this is going to be my third powder bronzer, but I am going to choose the Burt's Bees All Aglow. I need to get my thoughts set on this one a little bit better. This is kind of what it looks like on the skin, very unnoticeable, very subtle, almost looks like a highlighter instead. So I'm going to add that, but I also want to add this one from Tarte. It's the Sea Breezy bronzer, cream bronzer in the shade Seychelles, and it's just lovely. I love the shade. It really is like a perfect color. So this is what I'm going to use. These three bronzers. And lastly, for highlighters, again, I don't even really know what I've been in the mood for, but I do have a few that I would like to get a better grasp on, a better love for. So I want to add this one. It's a really subtle highlighter from Catrice. It's the Glow Lover Oil Infused Baked Highlighter, and it's very basic looking. So I do want to add it and just kind of play with it. I also want to add this from Cover FX. It's their glitter drops. I'm obsessed with glitter drops. I love things like this, so I'm definitely adding this. But I also want to add one more cream highlighter, and it's this really little sample in the shade Ice Bow from, what is this from? I believe it's from Rituel de Fille. It's just a little sample size, but I need to get some use out of it and to actually use it. So yeah, I'm gonna add these three in. Alright, you guys, so since I already kind of chose the stick lipsticks, I'm not going to show you my lipstick carousel. I'm not going to add any more in, but this is everything that I'm choosing for the Shop My Stash. I hope you enjoyed it, and I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye!